What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. This week we are going to bring you an awesome Georgia State Park. I know you've heard us say it 100 times. Every Georgia State Park is awesome, but this week we're going to bring you one that's maybe a little more unique than some of the other Georgia State Parks that we've stayed at, so stay tuned. So the park we're talking about this week is Mistletoe State Park, which is located in Appling, Georgia. And what makes this park a little more unique than some of the other Georgia State Parks that we've stayed at is the fact that this one really reminded us a lot of an Army Corps of Engineers park. Obviously, if you go back and look at our previous videos from our channel, you'll know that we love Corps of Engineer parks, mostly because they're inexpensive and they're always either right on or very near the water. And being able to be as close as we were to the water here at Mistletoe State Park was amazing. We were coming off of General Coffee State Park, which was our previous video that we put out, and if you watch that video, you'll know that we were not super excited about that particular site that we were at. This park more than made up for it. We could have stayed here for a month and just been completely happy. I'm going to give you a look at the way this campground area is laid out. Let's have a look at that map. So here's the way the campgrounds are laid out at Mistletoe State Park. You can see we were all the way down here on the end of this point in site 11, and all of the green campsites are 50 amp, all of the white are 30 amp. So you can see site 11, that was only a 30 amp site, but the weather was beautiful, so 30 amps was not an issue at all with the fifth wheel. Didn't really need to run the air conditioner hardly at all, and when we did, it was only one AC. And all of these sites along here are going to give you just awesome views of the water. We actually went over on this side, and you could look across the little cove here. Really some great views from these sites all the way out across Clarks Hill Lake. And then as you come down, this section over here, a lot of pull-through sites on this side, but the issue I noticed when I took a walk around that side is there's a lot of incline to get down into those sites. These sites are a little more wooded. Obviously, you can see there's no water view from any of these sites back in here, and those are sites 89 through 93. They're going to be more wooded, and then you have some sites here, back in sites, that's 68, 70, and 72 here in the center. So this gives you kind of an idea of how the campsites are laid out here at the state park. As you can see here, they do have a hiking trail that goes from the campground, and you can actually take that all the way back up to the office, to the park entrance if you want to. And then we have some other hiking trails that are down close to where the cabins are. They have 5 cabins. So that gives you an idea of kind of how this campground is laid out. Like I showed you there, we were in site 11. This site was probably the best site in the whole place. You backed in right up, literally right up to the water. I thought the site was going to be a little short for us at first. Our fifth wheel is 34 feet, but the site's angled in such a way and it's so wide that really there is no issue fitting into site 11. You're right on the end of a little cul-de-sac down there. There's a point that went out, so if you come out of our campsite and go left, you can go all the way out on this little point. If you like to fish, if you have kayaks, definitely bring them to the state park, because there was plenty of access all around throughout the whole campground. There was a boat ramp actually that was close to the other camping loop, so you could launch right into like a little smaller cove area, so you weren't right out on the big main lake. I think the biggest issue we had when we were there were the cardinals flying up out of that bush. You can see the bush there right behind our fifth wheel. The cardinals were just going crazy, flying out of there and hitting our windows. And they would start at about daylight, and they pretty much did not stop until dark. I mean, it was nonstop all day long, cardinals beating on our windows. If anybody has any suggestions how to keep cardinals from beating the crap out of your windows and your truck windows and your mirrors on your truck, please leave it in the comments, because I don't know how to keep them from doing it. I don't know if there's a way to stop them from doing it, but Every now and then is okay, but man, all day long gets a little annoying, and it can kind of startle you when you're not expecting it, and you hear those things smashing into your window at 7:30 in the morning. So other than that, it was awesome. It was incredibly quiet. It is kind of out of the way. It is a little bit far out to get out to the state park, but it's well worth it. And that's another thing that kind of gave us that Corps of Engineer vibe. It's way off the main road, and it's not really close to much of anything. So you do have to kind of go out a ways to get there, but it's well worth it. Super quiet out there, and we absolutely loved this spot, and we'll definitely put it on the list of spots if we need somewhere to stop in between. If we're traveling through that area and need a couple days to stop, Mistletoe State Park is absolutely going to be on that list. So I think that's all the pertinent information about Mistletoe State Park. We were so impressed with this site that we had. We definitely wanted to give you guys a really good look at it and show you guys what this place is all about. We haven't really, we hadn't heard of Mistletoe State Park until recently when we were looking for somewhere to stop for a week. So really glad we found it. Highly recommend it. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys down the road.